Host Dr. Terry Warren, and I'm excited that you're with us today, and I'm really excited about the two guests that I have. We have a couple, Alan and Colleen. Welcome, Alan.
Welcome, Terry.
Welcome, Colleen.
Thank you very much, Terry.
Alan and Colleen were very successful as business people in the corporate world. And they've come out of the corporate world to make a change and make a difference and to help young people, to help people to understand how to set up an inheritance for their children, and as well as many other things that they're doing. But what I'm going to do, because nobody tells it better than the people who created it, I'm going to let them explain what they're doing, about their organization, and the impact that they're having on kids in this country and hopefully in other countries around the world. Alan, what exactly is the organization that you have, and what are you doing with it?
Well, what we've done is we've put a platform together, a very large platform that self-sustains rodeo. We're introducing young kids to the Western heritage through rodeo. We've created a retirement program, an endowment fund, and a purse fund for our kids and our young adults. So what we've done is we take our members and we actually really work with them. On that, Colleen, you can...
Okay. What we started with was we know that rodeo is a generational industry. Mom, Dad, Grandpa, Grandma, and the kids, they all participate. So we needed to create a legacy corporation, one that will go on for generations. So that's really what we did, Terry, when we started. We set that base in mind and that goal in mind. And then what we did is all of the pieces that we have put together to bring this to the industry are already out there in rodeo, but they're in little bits and pieces all over the place. So we really had to bring it together. So we're working with communities and associations and groups and the pros, the pro cowboys who really want to pass their mentorship and their legacies onto the young people that are in the schools and cities today. Because what we have found is that a lot of the urban children are not exposed to animals and the love of animals and the responsibility of animals. And that's really what we want to get across through this program. So we have brought all of those pieces together, and we have created a company whose mission is really to use education, training, and a sustainable financial foundation to introduce rodeo back into young people's lives.
So let's talk about, how does children or young people becoming involved in rodeo? And I understand that from you that you have kids as young as 5, 6 years old doing this. How does taking a kid, let's say that's in the inner city, and bringing him in to teach him about bull riding and those type of things, what kind of an impact does it have on the kids?
It has a big impact. How we do it is we have academies. We start at the age of 7. We have mini bulls and mini broncs. And what we do is we start training our kids on robotic bulls and simulators. These are mechanical animals where we can train these young kids before they see a live animal. So what happens is we get their muscle memory there. We get their confidence built back in on riding this robotic or this simulator. Then once we're comfortable with where that individual is, then we put them over to a live animal. And we have our teachers are very well trained. We have legends that come on and actually train our kids. Before they see a live animal, they get that kind of training.
And Colleen, let me ask you this. When you're doing this, how do you then take and expose what you're doing? I mean, are you putting on events? Are you actually having live rodeos that these kids participate in? I mean, what is the process?
Well, really what we're doing is we're using academies or clinics to train the children, first of all, children and young adults, because some of our people are 25, 30 years old and just learning this sport. But our focus really is the young people, and we start with classes, with training, weekend clinics, and then what we do is we set up amateur rodeo events. So they're called futurities or jackpots. Within the industry, there's a number of names for it. But really, it's the young people coming out to compete with one another. And so they gain strength in their confidence through competition, and they gain skills using the live animals, and we call them training livestock. So they're not riding the pro bulls and the pro broncs, but they are riding bucking broncs and bucking bulls. So it's a progression of training, and we start with amateur events.
Now, I know that through this process, you've gained a lot of support and endorsement from celebrities, from actual, sports figures, from, entertainment people. Tell us a little bit about how some of those people have got involved and what they're doing for you. Because I know when you put on an event recently up in Montana, in Libby, Montana, I believe, you had a wide variety of celebrities coming. You had a wide variety of even a Hollywood stuntman. Tell us a little bit about how they're involved and why they got involved.
Well, first off, I'll talk about Sammy Maloof. And Sammy Maloof has come in, and he does all our stunts with us. And what we're doing is we're putting a bit of a spin back into entertainment into rodeo. And in Libby, Montana, our first rodeo, what we did was we created a police car, a Libby police car, and we actually put it in a Hollywood stunt through a complete chase, and we exploded it in front of our grandstand for our grand opening, and it worked very well. And the Maloof family's 100% behind us. They also reach out to kids and help people and so forth and so on. So he really seen our vision and jumped on. So that's the Maloof family. Hollywood Yates and the Blackburn Bullets, they're working with us. We're going to be doing some concerts with them. They're getting behind us. They understand how we're revitalizing rodeo, how we're reintroducing our Western heritage back to our kids. And these guys, these talent behind us really makes a difference to help gain interest back. It's not just a couple of people here. There's a whole team behind WPRSG. And
I understand that you also have a new music group. You were telling me about it. It's quite incredible. They use their voices, and with their voices they create musical instruments. Tell us a little bit about them and what they're going to be doing with you.
Well, they're pretty amazing. And we were just fortunate enough to be introduced to them recently. And so what we did is they are called Naturally Seven. And they use their voices to make the sounds of the instruments they're playing as they sing to the song they're doing. So they travel internationally. They have their shows are sold out everywhere. And they have agreed to write a song for us that will support our programs and our youth. So we are just thrilled to have them on board. It's just a real blessing to us and to our group to be able to say that they're going to work with us.
Well, now, that's from the entertainment and celebrity standpoint.
Yeah.
One of the other things is when you have an organization that helps kids and does that, one of the things that I've found to be true over the years is generally corporations will get behind it because they want to show good corporate citizenship. They want to give back. Do you have corporations coming on board and being part of this as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a couple of TV channels behind us. We have Hawk Radio in Canada. They're one of our major supporters. We have M44 Builders out of Canada and the United States. He is no doubt our largest supporter. He's been there since day one. So M44 Builders is one of our major corporations that we show a lot of thank you to and a lot of respect because he's really, really done his part for the kids and our platform.
Well, that's awesome. If a corporation wanted to get involved with you, Alan, I know that we don't have your website up on the screen yet, But give the name of your website, just so they'll know if they want to go and look at it and find out a little more about you.
Sure, it's at www.wprsg.com, and you can go on there and you can see some of the people who are supporting us. In addition, we have associates who work with us, so they give us, we typically ask for 30% to come back to our platform. And so I'm wearing some outfits here so that people can kind of see the kind of people who are supporting us. So we have a jewelry designer who made these jewelries, and we have the t-shirts made in the USA, and we have these leggings from Coco on the Go. And each one of those people allow us to sell their product, and then they donate 30% back to our funds. So we just have an amazing corporate support starting and growing, and we're just thrilled to have them involved.
So you have your own clothing line.
Yep.
I understand you have a line of jeans as well.
We do, yep.
And hats and T-shirts, you know, which is always a good thing. I actually understand, and because I know the program, you're actually launching something called Splash Play.
We are.
And that's an amazing program. I mean, I would suggest, we'll get the web address to you, but if anybody is out there and they want to know about trivia regarding rodeo, because, you know, it's interesting because I had someone say to me the other day, you know, what happened to all the great cowboy movies? What happened to all the great, you know, TV shows like Gunsmoke and, you know, Matt Dillon and you know, and all of those, you know, Paladin and all those great, you know, TV shows that were there, and it's really going back to our roots.
It is, and now that you bring that up, BTV is partnered up with us, and they have a box that surfs the internet, and it's a very, very good tool to find those movies at your fingertips. You buy this box from BTV, and you can actually go surf those movies, and they've blessed us with the channel. So we'll be putting our own content with BTV, and we want to thank BTV for sponsoring us and bringing us on as a partner, because it's going to be big for us to reach out to the world and show our rodeos. We can live stream with them. We can really get out there and help. Now, if it'd be all right, I'd like to talk more about our platform and how we've self-sustained rodeo.
Oh, absolutely. And before we're done, because one of the things that, you know, we base everything is based on the Bible, and what you're doing is based on biblical principles. But, you know, the Bible very clearly says, and I think it's one of the areas that 90% of the people out there have failed to do, and that is to leave an inheritance for your children's children. Most people you know right now in the world are 2 checks or 3 checks away from bankruptcy, much less have an inheritance for their, you know, for their children's children. And you, coming out of corporate America, really knowing how to structure things, have put together a brilliant program that allows people to contribute and do something good, and at the same time build up an inheritance for their children's children. So tell us about the platforms as well as the program that allows that to happen.
Good. Well, it's a very easy platform to follow. Now, there's 3 funds. There's your retirement fund, your endowment fund, and the purse fund. We're the only company that we actually know out in Canada and the United States, possibly the world, that gives back 30% of their profits. So how does it work? Well, there's 3 funds, so there's 10% that goes into every fund. The retirement fund works very, very simplematic, is we take 10%. So, for instance, Terry, I'm going to use you as a guinea pig here, and you've just signed up for $450 US. We're going to give you back $45 for a retirement. So we're going to place $45 into an account, and it's going to start to work for you. And I know it doesn't sound like much, but watch what happens. As we do that, you're going to put another $45 out of the same $450 into the endowment fund to help a young kid go to one of these rodeos to get some education, for scholarships, for equipment, for more robotics, and so forth. And then there's going to be another $45 put in to a purse fund. So these young kids, these young adults can go ride for that. They can compete for it. So let's go back to that retirement fund, because that's the game changer here for the world, completely. We offer this to anybody. You don't have to be a rodeo star. You don't have to be a rodeo person. You can actually have your own retirement. So we start you off at that $45. What we do is we're out looking right now for sponsorship. We're going to raise $1 million worth of sponsorship this year. As I said to you before, we have 30% going back. So that means $100,000 goes into that retirement, $100,000 into the endowment, and $100,000 into the purse. Very key for that. We lock that money in for life, forever. Nobody can touch it, not the board, no one. And then Colleen has got her financial team in Canada and the United States working it. And we give back to our members. So we build and we top off your retirement all year long. And that's all you have to do is member up every year, and we build your retirement. Let's just think about that. Every time we throw a festival, a music festival, a rodeo, anything that's ticketable, 30% of that ticket goes back, and it's 10% goes back into the retirement holding fund. The profits from there get back to the members, such as you, which we call as the POOF program. So what happens is you sell a hat. Your retirement just grew. Colleen showed you our clothes. We sell a shirt. We sell a hat, our pants, our sport line, our jewelry. Anything that we attach ourselves to, 30% is given back to our kids. No one's ever done it for it. And it actually works, Terry.
Wow. Colleen, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I do, because on top of that, what we've done is we have actually brought in mentors and teachers and education programs so that we can teach these young people how to be solid business people. We teach them from the inside out to learn how to make decisions, how to be responsible, how to accept their mistakes and learn from them. So we teach conflict resolution, and it's all to do with animals who are all forgiving, and it doesn't matter how you treat them, they will still love you. But we teach them how to love the animals, and the animals love them back. And so it's really fulfilling a real need in our young people today to feel that love and to grow with it. And so they get material strength, and they get financial strength, and they get spiritual strength. So it's just a well-rounded system.
You know, we need to have more programs like this, obviously. And, you know, we live in a period of time where, you know, the youth are bombarded with negative stuff. I mean, everything they hear on the radio is negative. The things that are coming through the TV is negative for the most part. And so to you know, find something that will ultimately help make them a better person. And, you know, I believe that, you know, you also are taking kids that are, you know, how do I put it, never been outside of a city, never seen, you know, anything outside of a city, and you're really bringing them to a place where they have a kind of a relationship with what God created.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you of all the things that you're doing, Alan, what do you feel is the most important aspect of all of this?
We're giving every child, every human being, a chance to have a retirement, to right from the day you're born, you can have your child with a retirement all the way through, self-sustainable by membership, and they're going to be able to have their university paid for, their college paid for. Some kids don't want to do that. They'll be able to pay for a startup company. They'll be able to put money on a vehicle or a house when they get married. It's the start that a lot of people just don't get. So we're making a difference in the world where that little $45 that we put into your retirement program builds, because all our profits go back into those 3 funds. So that's the biggest difference we're making, is the opportunity for success in the world today we live in.
Now, when they go to your website, are they going to? Is there going to be something there that helps educate them on how this works? Because most people are very confused when it comes to retirement, when it comes to these type of things. They just don't know.
Right.
And so, you know, your website is going to have information. You're going to educate people about this as well.
We are. This is one of our launches right here on the channel with you, and we're updating our website accordingly. We're going to have a lot of offers coming out, an educational side on the website to teach you about what we're doing with our programs, and also with our members and our partners with Coco on the Go. She's got a program that she's building with us that when you buy a certain amount of garments from her, you too will get a retirement just because you bought $300 or $400 worth of product. The same thing with BTV and our other product lines, our jeans. So you really want to stay tuned and watch our website, Terry, because we're going to be reaching out to the global world of people to say, here's your opportunity. We're sharing our profits with you to help build your futures.
You know, I know that this is not, a traditional type of ministry, where and I believe that one of the shows that comes on in about another half hour or so is called Marketplace Ministries, and they're about ministry in the marketplace. But I think so many times, and this, I remember one time, I walked into a place and there was a gentleman in there, and he said, "Sir, would you buy me something to eat?" And I did. I said, "Sure, of course." And I brought him up, and I had asked him, I said, what's the story? He said, "Well, I was living back east, and I was promised a job here, and I had a certain amount of savings, and I came out here and relocated here. I went through my savings, and they never hired me. They just didn't hire me. And now I'm under a bridge and on the street." And I said, "Well, have you gone to any of the local churches to see if you could get some help?" And he said, "Well, yeah, I did." And I said, "Well, what happened when you went there?" They said, "I'll pray for you." And he said, but sir, I must tell you something, and please don't take this wrong. I appreciate the prayer that was prayed for me, but the prayer that was prayed for me didn't put any food in my stomach. It didn't fill my hunger. And so, I think so often, especially in the Christian community, we want to meet their needs spiritually, but we fail to meet the needs physically. And what I see you doing is, meeting the need physically as well. And any time that you're taking children who are messed up, maybe, or just lost, or don't know which direction to go, you're making a difference in their life. Mm-hmm. And that's very important. I want to thank you both for being here today. You have a wonderful program. I encourage you out there to go to their website. Give us the website again.
That is www.wprsg.com.
www.wrspg.
No, it's We Praise God.
Oh!
WPRSG.
WPRSG. We Praise God. Thank you.
.com.
Go to that website, find out more, and if you want to do an inheritance for your children's children, this is a program that will do it for you. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Dr. Terry, your host, with Alan and Colleen, and come back, visit us again. We'll be back on the station with more exciting and incredible information, and we'll also have more programs that have to do with this and how to go about using it even in a greater way. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, God bless you, and we are praying for you.